Welcome to another edition of the Big Blue Report featuring that guy, Giants defensive captain, Super Bowl champion, Giants legend Jonathan Casillas, the Professor Ryan Darlington joining us as always, and my name is Randy Zellea from backsportspage.com. This is a listener-supported podcast supported by you, the Giants fan, keeping us free every week by going to nflshop.com, clicking on the link below in the description. We appreciate you guys checking us out every single week on all of our social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, wherever we're social media and podcast platforms, that's where we are. And don't forget to give us a like, write a review, let us know that you like what we're doing on all of our platforms. Message us live during the show and we to join the conversation. Now, boys, all right, the trade deadline was today. And the only thing they traded was Dexter Lawrence traded his Diet Coke for Diet Sprite, ladies and gentlemen. That was the only thing that happened today as far as the New York Football Giants was concerned. Gentlemen, what do we think about not making a move today at the trade deadline?
JC, I'll let you go first. I have my thoughts, but
I didn't expect one, but it'd have been good to see that they would look at the roster and say, we need to make changes. Something has to change because clearly what is going on and what's happening in the roster itself is not capable of winning games. I'm flabbergasted, but again, not surprised, because it's like not expecting them to make, smart decisions all the time, I mean, look, you look at what the Jets did, right? And people they're so opposed of Sauce Gardner leaving, but you got 2 first-round draft picks for him.
Big.
Quinnen Williams, he was kind of the Dexter Lawrence of the Jets, basically the same entire time, if I'm not mistaken, in the same draft class. And they got another first-round draft pick for him and a second-round draft pick as well.
I think it was 2 firsts.
No, I think it was a first and a second.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Yeah, for Quinnen. So they ended up getting 3 first-round draft picks, for 2 guys who have been underwhelming, basically, for them since Aaron Glenn's been there. And, the Giants, not to say that they have pieces that they could have got that much for, but something, some type of move, because as of right now, you look at this roster, you look at this team, and it just doesn't equate to a 2-7 record. Something needs to happen, and they have the same answers every single week. There's no accountability. There's always the same answers. Oh, we got to improve. We have to be better. We have to be better. No details exactly. No one getting called out. And I'm just like, okay, how do we expect to see anything different when the answers are the same and then it looks the same as it did on Sunday? And I was embarrassed to be a part of the New York Giants for probably the first time, because I was doing my suite visits and I heard a loud roar in the first quarter. And I was like, oh, what did we do? We didn't do anything. It was the 49ers fans that were very loud. And it felt like a 49ers home game. And I don't think it was more Niners fans than Giants fans. It might have been 60-40, maybe even 70-30 Giants 49ers, but they were significantly louder.
Yeah, who's making the noise? They had shit to make noise about. So I guess I'm not surprised that they were the ones that were making the noise. But I mean, I think really you hit the nail on the head when you said that we seem to be in a situation where we don't have answers. And when you don't have answers from a coaching perspective, when you don't have new ways of approaching things, adding another piece to the puzzle isn't going to matter, right? It's really not going to be the tie that binds everything together. And I think we as an organization have relied way too much on hope for certain individuals than we should. And quite frankly, it seems to be that we have too talented a team. We do have a talented roster, right? So the fact that we are not getting play out of a talented roster tells you something, not as much about the roster itself, but I think it tells you a story about the coaching staff, right? And so, I said at the very beginning at the very end of the show last week, I'm souring pretty quickly on the coaching staff, and this Sunday really only served to kind of heighten that a little bit. I don't think we have answers. I don't think we have a head coach that knows how to keep a disciplined organization. I don't think he knows how to run from a head coaching standpoint from top to bottom with a detailed plan and a set of expectations and discipline when it comes to those expectations and holding people accountable to that. We have, in my estimation, from a player standpoint, we have two people on our team that really look like they have the want to, that really are playing through everything and giving their hearts every game, every snap, trying to do everything they can to will this team to victory. And that happens to be Brian Burns and Jaxson Dart.
Yeah. And I also want to throw something else at you guys too. This is the same conversation we were having, like Ryan said last week. What's the culture of this team? There is no culture of this team. You can't. Well,
it's a bad culture. No, there is a culture. There is a very distinct culture, and it's a culture of losing. It's a culture of not being disciplined. It's a culture of not filling your gaps or knowing where you're supposed to be and actually being there to make plays. It's the culture of a team that doesn't know what the fuck it's doing, and we've seen that. I'm sorry. That's just the way. That's the way it appears to be, because we are again at 2-7 for the third year in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And just for the record, JC, JC, just for the record, if you ever really, really want to hear Ryan fired up, call him right after a Giants loss.
Especially one like that.
Yeah, it's something to be.
I am a mild-mannered guy, right? For 9/10 of my life, I am a very mild-mannered guy. But you catch me after a loss like
Sunday
that.
at 4 p.m.
Sunday at 4 p.m. is usually when my blood pressure's through the fucking roof, right? And it's time for Ryan to take a walk and calm down a little bit.
I'm looking at my phone. Maybe I'll give Ryan a call. Nope, it's 4 o'clock. We're going to call him maybe around 8-ish. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
Let him calm down a little bit.
I'll still be pissed, but it won't be as bad.
Look, this is what sorry, JC, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, being at the game, I barely could really watch it. I was just hearing the tears of the 49ers fans and the boos from the Giants fans who booed the Giants going into halftime, booed throughout the game. And as a defender, when you go on the road, that would be our goal, to boo, let the home team boo their home crowd, their home team, when you're playing, and that's like you're doing something right. And I think that's happened, a couple of times this year. Jaxson Dart was 2-0 at home. And Dart, all things considered, is playing, I think, extremely well.
Yeah.
Like making plays, and I think he's doing a little too much at times. Yeah. He's playing with, it's like he's trying to put the Scatterbull helmet on and play like Scatterbull, but it's like, you can't do that, sir.
No.
You have to slide every now and again, especially when the game's a little out of reach. Like, let's be smart. We saw what happened with Jaden Daniels, and of course, it wasn't him. It was the hip tackle that was supposed to be banned from the league, and now we've seen several guys go down. Scatterbull being one of them, Jaden Daniels being another one. But like, why is he in that late, right? Like, same thing with Dart. Why is he in so late? And you can't, like, he's not going to protect himself. He's a guy that's going to give everything, and that means his body, which is what you really want. But when the game's out of reach, it's like, okay, let's maybe protect the franchise guy and
Yeah.
the donned leader that Daboll had donned him as the leader of the team. And I have something to say about that, but I'll let you guys go ahead and respond.
When he can't protect himself, when you've got a guy on your team that wants to win so badly that he's blinded to everything else and can't protect himself, the one person that he has to be accountable to is the head coach. The one person that has to be looking out for him to say, yes, we love your competitive spirit, but you need to be in this league for 10 or 15 years, and you're not going to be if you keep taking hits like that. If you don't slide on first down, there are going to be consequences. If you don't slide on first down, or you try and do something to protect yourself, there are going to be consequences. Instead, all you hear from Daboll is, oh, he's a competitive kid. He's got a competitive spirit. You're letting him hurt himself. You're letting him kill his career and end it early if you don't step in and actually play a father figure for that guy.
And Brian, the call that they made against San Fran for the illegal hit to the head, that was a terrible call.
Yes.
Because Jaxson Dart was a runner.
Yes.
And you can get hit like that. That is a legal hit.
100%. When
It
you
was
establish as a runner.
clean, big hit that running backs take more than, quarterbacks, because quarterbacks do have that protection. But if you don't give yourself up, you don't have that protection. And Dart didn't give himself up. So
that's right.
I'm very concerned about this kid's health.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to protect him. The defenders are not going to protect him. Once he break the pocket, there's nothing the O-line can do.
Yeah.
And I think they've been doing a pretty good job
Yeah.
in protecting him when he's inside the pocket. Even the one play when he got hit really hard, that was on him. The one he got hit close to the end zone when it was backed up a little bit.
Behind.
Andrew Thomas, right. He has to have that awareness. Andrew Thomas, you can't hold a block for 7 seconds.
I guess that's true.
Because he scrambled. It was a good block initially. He kind of went around, the defender did, and he hit him 6 seconds later. Like it was an extended play, and Dart has the awareness, but that time he didn't feel it. And I was just like probably you guys were. I was scared.
Yeah.
Because he went down, he got hit hard from the back, number one, then he hit his head on the ground, number two. And I was just in the stadium like this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Taking shots on his shoulder, taking shots in his head, his neck. He's tough, but for how long?
I know, right?
Look, we
There's
love
only so
that.
much you can do till your body says, yeah, I can't move.
Right.
I can't move.
That's
I'm
it.
Stuck.
Fuck you. We're staying in bed today. Right. And that's the end of his career. And he's too good for that. Guys, he's too good for that. This dude that has come in and he has lit this place up. And it's a damn shame that he's the only one that's doing that. He's got receivers that can't get open. He's got a line that can barely protect him.
They can.
We've lost our.
They can. You know why? Because he's throwing the ball to make them open. And the question is, why are they dropping so many freaking passes?
That too, but why does he have to hold the ball for 6 seconds? Why does he have to hold the ball for as long as he does? He's got I want to see the timing on this. Like, how much time does he spend in the pocket waiting for somebody to get open? And it just doesn't, it seems like he's got it for way too long.
I tell you what, Ryan, I do see him throwing in the tight windows. The receivers for this team, for me, what I've seen for them, we've seen Slayton for how many years now? He's not really a separation guy. But
then you have to be able to catch a contested pass.
Exactly. So many guys, Theo Johnson, Wandale has been doing a better job. But all of these guys, they have dropped the ball it doesn't matter when you drop the ball. It's your job. Catch the ball.
Brian,
but we've seen Slayton do it several times the same way. Touchdowns, falling down, having the ball in his hands, and not ending up with the ball at the end of the play. And it's like, bro, if he was getting paid $3 million a year like he was a few years ago, I would be like, okay, I understand. But now he's up to $12 million a year. Receivers make those catches
on year one of a 3-year contract.
Right.
Ryan texted me. He goes, if I have to watch Theo Johnson drop one more pass, I swear to God.
And he's so talented. That touchdown that he had was incredible. Such an incredible play that he made.
You know what I want then? I want consistent talent. Because if you're showing me that you're going to drop a bunch of balls, I'm not willing to say that you're talented. If you can't fight through a double team, I'm not going to sit here and say that you're talented. I can't go off of what I've seen in seasons past. What I can go off of, this is NFL, it's not for long. You have to show me every week that you can remain a talented player consistently before we can trade on any of that stuff that you've done back in the day.
Yeah, no, listen, it's fair. Look, at the end of the day, you are what your record says you are. You're 2-7, and not only that, but I listened to Daboll's press conference on Monday. I don't know why I don't know why I do it, because it's a lot of the same stuff over and over again. But like, again, some of these guys try to control the narrative, but Daboll just looked like, for the first time, JC, for the first time I saw Daboll look defeated and not really having
on Monday or Sunday after the game?
On Monday. On
Monday one. I saw
on Monday's press conference, I'm listening to him talk, and he sounded defeated. It sounded like these guys were asking questions. Pat Leonard,
Pat Leonard's
he's tough.
Somebody
Pat, Pat's first question is Shane Bowen still your defensive coordinator?
Mm-hmm.
And Brian's like, yeah. He's like, are you taking play calling responsibilities away from Shane Bowen?
Yeah.
No.
Why? Why is he still your defensive coordinator?
Yeah. And you're listening to the answers, and like it's like one word answers, a couple word answers, and that's a guy who's just defeated and just going through the motions. And the simple fact of the matter is, this defense that you have, I understand your secondary is not out there, okay? But that front seven was supposed to be the strength of your, you know what I mean?
You're missing one guy.
Yeah,
I do have to say, though, they are missing some guys. The defensive back room is completely depleted. And the position at linebacker, man, they're on their third guy, Flanagan Fowles. With Muasau going down, and of course Micah McFadden getting hurt early in the season. And man, they've been struggling at that position. I'm watching a lot of plays, even the Saquon play from a couple of weeks ago. That was basically that position, that was supposed to be in that B gap, and they were not there. And I've been seeing, look, Flanagan Fowles is doing, I think, the best that he possibly could. I think he's playing hard, but he's not Micah McFadden, and he's been playing very well for them. They're missing their players, and you look at San Francisco 49ers, they're missing their players.
They're missing a bunch of guys.
They're missing
Salah's
really
got
good players for them, and they are playing good football, and they're 6-3 now?
Yeah.
4-2 on the road. Right. That's pretty damn good for a team that's supposedly not have their starting quarterback, their starting middle linebacker, their starting pass rusher.
And by the way, I love what I saw on X today. Talking about the Giants. Obviously, the message gets through some of these writers. The Giants would love to try and move Evan Neal today. That was the big thing that you saw on Twitter today. Because the Giants were looking to possibly move Evan Neal and Jalen Hyatt. They would
for
love
what, a turkey sandwich?
Yeah, right. If that,
exactly,
if that, like
a Gatorade bottle.
If that's our biggest bargaining chip, that
not
we're
even
screwed.
Gatorade, Ryan, with water in it, with warm water.
We're trading you the bottle.
Flint,
we're
Michigan
just giving
water.
you the bottle. There's nothing in there. It's just the bottle. Oh God.
Oh man.
We're on fire today.
But this was the stuff that these guys were putting out there. They're like these are, if this is your big bargaining chip, if those two guys are your big bargaining chips, why we're not making any deals.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, look, we are in a position where we know we need different talent. But here's the other thing. I'm not entirely convinced that the people who are going to be in charge of that talent are the ones who are in charge of it right now. Right? I mean, we can have a discussion all day long about whether or not we think Joe Shane needs to go out with the Dabolls and the Kafkas and the Bowens and all those guys. But at the end of the day, whoever is going to be in that position needs the draft capital, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the only thing that you were going to get, if you packaged up, let's say you packaged up Jalen Hyatt and Evan Neal and got yourself maybe a 5th or 6th round pick, I probably would have done that deal, right? But it doesn't. You're not going to get much. You're not going to make a big splash unless
Go ahead, Brian. Finish. I'm sorry.
I was just no. It's all good. I was look. If you're going to make a big splash in free agency, you're going to trade a guy like Dexter Lawrence. If you're going to do that, you're going to trade the guys that actually have real value on this team,
Right.
like a Thibodeaux, like a Burns, like a whoever. But then at that point, you're basically saying to yourself, "Fuck it, we are rebuilding, and we are going to give the next guy a ton of draft capital to work with because the guys that have been brought in to this point have been subpar." I still don't think it's Joe Shane's fault that the coaching staff has done what they have done with the guys that he's brought in. He has drafted consistently highly rated players. He has consistently gone out and signed highly rated cornerbacks and safeties. And the fact that the coaching staff hasn't been able to do what they were supposed to do with them isn't on Joe Shane, but I will have that argument any day.
That was exactly what I was going to say, Ryan. I was about to cut you off from making the point that I was about to say. No, seriously, I was going to say, look, the Jets just did that. They just did that. They got rid of two of their better players, if not their best players, especially on the defensive side. And I'm gonna be honest, guys. What I've been seeing from Dexter Lawrence, I think Dexter's checked out.
Yeah,
you know, and he's going to be. He's exactly that. That was exactly what I was going to say. Do you remember the interview that I told you that I was like, this is where like Dexter is like not the Dexter that is all about the team and all of that.
Yep.
It was after they got rid of Daniel Jones and they interviewed him, and he said, they said, what do you feel about, Daniel Jones? I don't know who asked the question. It was something along the lines of, how do you feel about Daniel Jones being benched or moving, to Minnesota? And he was like, well, they got rid of my best friend last year.
Yeah.
And that answer told me that he didn't like these movements.
Yeah.
He didn't like it. And of course, he's going to be a pro. He's going to say the things that he needs to say to not look like he's anti-Giant. I don't think he's anti-Giant,
no,
but I do think he's anti this regime. Yep. I do think he's over this regime. And you see it on film, guys. Yeah. There's something to what Banks said. I don't agree with him because I don't think people don't respect him. He said that. I don't think it's that part. But he's not getting off the double teams. And I watched DJ Davidson split some double teams over the last few weeks. And DJ Davidson gets very limited amount of time. And he's nowhere near the player that Dexter Lawrence is. I think Dexter's kind of going through the motions, guys. And I used this before to describe Damus Snacks Harrison when I got injured in 2017, right? You remember the movie Troy? I don't know if I said this to you guys before, the movie Troy. We all know who Achilles is. Right? Achilles was the guy, if you had him on your side, that you're probably going to win the war, right? That's Dexter Lawrence. Daboll said, and this is, I think, a huge mistake on his behalf. He said that Jaxson Dart is the leader of this team, not the offense, the leader of this team. He is mistaken. It's been Dexter Lawrence since before Daboll got there, and it's still Dexter Lawrence now. But if Achilles, aka Dexter Lawrence, is not feeling the king, then you're not going to look the way you want it to look. You're not going to be able to win the war. That's what you're seeing, guys. You're seeing the best player on the New York Giants. He's still the best player, guys. He hasn't fallen off the face of the earth, but he's not in it anymore.
Yeah.
He's not saying, I'm giving you my all, coach, like Burns is.
Yeah.
Burns is still doing that. That's what you see from Burns.
Yep. And it's not fair.
Because Burns is not the leader of the defense. So he can't galvanize the crew. He can't do it because you have a leader there that's fed up and he's playing like he's just trying to get through. He's not getting blown off the ball. He's not getting put on his back. No one can do that to Dexter, even if he's going half-ass, right? I'm not saying he's not half-assing, but he's not giving it at all. Yeah. Because I've seen what his all looked like, and it looked different than I'm seeing now. Unless he's hurt. That's the only thing.
But then
I haven't seen him on the injury report at all.
Correct. And that was the other thing that Banks said. So he said what he said about the players not respecting Dexter two weeks ago, I think 2 shows ago. The one that he recorded with Bob Papa the day of the loss to the 49ers, he was like, what I'm seeing is that there are very few guys out there, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he says they lack the want to, right? They lack the desire to really give everything that they've got and run through walls in the same way that they need to in order to be able to be in the right position to make the right plays. It's the want to. It's the lack of desire, and that's one of the reasons. That's one of the ways that you can tell that a coach has kind of lost the locker room, right?
Yeah.
And Tiki, I don't know if you heard what Tiki said about the leadership problem. He said he's not pointing at Daboll, but he said the Giants have a leadership problem. But this is the point I'm trying to make about Dexter. He is so mistaken. Dexter is the leader of this team. He's been the leader of this team way before Jaxson Dart came. Jaxson Dart was still in high school when Dexter was the leader of this team. You know what I'm serious, guys.
No, yeah, you're right.
He might have
No,
been
you're
playing for
It's
USC
true.
at the time.
I'm just laughing at the analogy.
It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
that's true.
And Dexter has been the unsung hero, no question about it. And of course, Burns is a fantastic player, but that's why you're not seeing guys galvanized by his play, because he's not the leader. He's not Achilles. He's not him. You know, he is him because he's playing like it. But if he was really the leader, his play would have been, everybody would have been, all right, guys, look at our leader. He's doing unimaginable things. We got to pick it up.
Right.
And no, Dexter is the leader, and Burns is one of the guys.
Yeah.
He's not just a guy like a jag, like we call. He's not that. But he's one of the guys that is playing out of his mind right now. Jaxson Dart is also playing out of his mind right now. And I think the guys on offense are trying. I just don't think they're capable. On the other side of it, you're seeing a guy in Dexter Lawrence who is tremendously talented. He is one of the best players in the NFL. That hasn't gone anywhere. But you're just not seeing him give the effort and like the want to, because I just don't think he rocks with them anymore.
Yeah,
I've
he can't.
It happen.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen with guys, talented guys that said, you know what? I love you guys, so I'm going to be out there and I'm going to practice and I'm going to do my thing, but I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not going to go out there and break my back for a guy that I could really care less about. That's the only answer to this whole Dexter Lawrence thing, because guys, they're not going to keep doubling him anymore. I didn't see a lot of double teams this past weekend. You know, and I heard what Shanahan said about him. You heard what he said about him. He was like, why did Banks say that about him coming in this week? He was like, I'm going to call him sir and try to, smooch him up before the game, because the respect is there.
Sure.
But when you look at the film and you say, oh, we don't have to spend a double team on him, we can shift that over to agent zero, because he's the real problem child on his defense.
Absolutely. But even if Dexter was in that role, even if he was playing out of his mind and he was the vocal leader of the defense, that's not enough to have a team rally behind you, right? You need to have that belief on the part of the coaches as well. You need to believe in the scheme. You need to believe in your head coach. I wonder if any of the guys on the Lions, right, are only relying on their leaders in the locker room, or are they relying on the belief that they have in Dan Campbell and his system?
Because I've seen both. I've seen the coaches, the defensive coordinators get the most out of guys, and then I've seen defenders, top tier guys, top tier offensive guys, like call people out, have them accountable, but behind the scenes, nobody sees this. The media doesn't see it. I've seen it. I've done it. I did it to Eli Apple. I had a one-on-one conversation with him away from the whole team. Nobody heard me. It was just me and him one-on-one. I went up to his face and I basically told him, bro, you keep doing this shit, bro, I'm gonna get you cut. I'm gonna try my hardest to get you cut from this team. I'm old as hell, bro. I'm 30 years old. I run the ball every play. My knee hurts, my back hurts, my neck hurts. And I run the ball every play, bro. You better cut that shit out. But is Dexter doing that? No, he's not.
Probably not.
He probably did it in the past. Probably did it in the past. When Banks was pulling that stuff last year, he probably did it last year, but I don't think he's doing it this year.
No,
I don't think he rocks with the regime. Pat Leonard asked him, does he still want to play for the Giants? He should have asked him, does he still want to play for Daboll? That's
sure. Because look, they're 11-32 over their last 40. What is it? 40. Somebody do the math for me. 43 games. They're 11-32. It's hard to stay motivated in that area. You can't believe in the system. You can't believe in the coaches being able to get the best out of everybody, and to see all of the best players be shepherded out the door, right? McKinney on another team, Saquon on another team, right? Leonard Williams on another team, doing pretty well.
Leonard Williams had a great night the other night.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think your fan base is loving it when they're actually paying for banners to be flown over the stadium.
Again,
two banners on Sunday flown.
At least this one was before the game.
Yeah, but you just don't want that. You don't want that. Not. Yeah, like if you're married. Now, listen. First off, what fans don't understand is they can pay for whatever they want and put messages over the top they want. But at the end of the day, the fans don't run the team. That's reality. But yes, they are your customer base, and that's what you sort of have to, answer to if you want their season ticket money. But the NFL is such a team. Right. Yeah. The money. I mean, money runs a team, but your fan base.
You see it in the stadium. Yeah, Randy. You see it in the stadium. How red it was. They were in their legacy uniforms, and first of all, they look sweet.
They look awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, they look awesome. Sweet. Yeah,
unlike the Green Bay uniform, you saw that crap that they
had with the leather-looking helmet thing. Yeah, that was weird.
And the Steelers last week, we got the best throwback joints, bro. Them joints are clean.
I gotta tell you, I hated those Steelers uniforms. They were the worst thing ever.
Nah, I think Green Bay just beat them. Green Bay was terrible. And then I saw the helmet reaction. Everybody was like, "Oh, wow, we got these vintage 1925 helmets. They are terrible. They're so
awful.
Terrible."
What was the team?
Helmets?
What was the team that went out there? Yeah, Giants helmets were awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. Sweet. Who was it? They went out there looking like the UC Banana Slugs. It was like the all yellow. That was the Steelers game?
That was the Steelers. They looked awful.
It's so bad.
They looked awful. So bad. Guys, should we be making too much of the banner situation, or is that just one of those things?
I'm not worried about that. I'm telling you, what you make an issue of is the stadium.
Yeah,
that's them showing because the that's a one-off. That's one fan here, one fan there. Nobody else can afford that. But the guys that are coming to the game consistently, they're not coming.
Yeah.
Well, they're not coming. There's 83,000 people. It probably was 35, 40,000 San Francisco 49ers fans. And where do you think they got their tickets from?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but I will tell you, and this is something that we were joking about the other day about, and Ryan's experiencing this right now. If you talk to the Giants ticket reps, they will not sell you a ticket if you're from the other team. If you're like, they'll say, "Are you Giant fans?" "Oh, no, we're like Eagles fans." "I'm sorry, we cannot sell you these tickets." Whereas if you're like the Jets, for example, they're like, "Hey, is your money green?" "Yeah, come on down." It doesn't matter. Hey, come on down.
This really happened. So San Fran game, right? Sunday. I use the same ticket guy that I used when I played. And he always tells me, "Hit me up the morning of the game. We'll figure it out." All right, cool. Should never did it this week. So I hit him up. You know what he said? I tried to hit him up for 8 tickets, right? But I already had a couple tickets that they give me because I still work, during the games. And I needed 6 tickets, right? He told me the ticket for $550. And I was like, "Bro, what?" So I'm calling my family "Yeah, y'all can't go. No way I'm paying. Ain't no way I'm paying $3,000, bro."
Nope.
I'm not doing that. The most I've ever paid for a ticket was $240 or something like that, which is still on a higher end. But for my family, of course I'll do it. But at $550, I was like, I can't do it. And I was able to, finesse some things. But I was like, man, I'm glad that the tickets, there's a lot of Giants fans coming. They was like, nah, those are 49ers fans. And I was like, no way. The Niners jacked.
Can you imagine?
They took all the tickets.
Well,
they took them all.
But listen, can you imagine paying $3,000 to take a bite out of that shit sandwich? I mean, can you imagine if you had spent all that money?
So pissed. I would have been so pissed.
Come on now. No.
Listen,
what?
But where do we go from here?
So pissed.
Yeah.
But look, it's going to be like that. Do you know how many Packers fans are going to be coming? Because they travel well.
All the teams that were good back in the day, there are the teams that travel well. The Steelers would always travel well. I'm sorry, Dallas will always travel well. Yeah. Philly, because proximity-wise, they always going to travel well. The 49ers travel well. Did I say the Steelers? The Steelers, the Commanders, because they're proximity-wise too.
Yeah,
so we're screwed.
Yeah,
because we have all of these guys. Luckily, we play Chicago on the road because Chicago. I saw 10 different Chicago fans last week decked out in their Chicago gear. So We're in the thing is we have so many people in the metropolitan area of New York. It's like 30 million. Like if you extended the Philly, it's probably 40 million. You know,
Mhm.
like if going to Connecticut, you know, and you could even include those New England places because all of those fans start going to New England like after Connecticut. You know what I mean? But like you got some of Pennsylvania, you got all of New Jersey, all of New York, or most of New York, because that whole northern region is all Buffalo for sure. But like you even got Delaware, like all of those places, they have fans that cheer for a whole bunch of other teams, not
Yeah.
just the Giants. So
Yep.
when their team come to visit, they've been waiting for it for years. They've been had this day circled on their calendar. And when the Giants fans are like, all right, we can make money and recoup some of this loss
Yeah.
because we don't want to watch this garbage that they're
Yeah.
putting out there, it
Mhm.
makes sense for them to do that. And you can't blame them for that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, but here's. Go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, Randy.
No, I was just about to say too. You look at the remaining home games on the schedule. Obviously, like you said, Dallas is going to fill up that stadium pretty good. Doesn't matter what the Cowboys' record is.
I hate those.
Cowboys,
I hate them.
the Cowboys fans are all about it. Minnesota fans don't travel well. The Vikings faithful don't really travel that well. And then you have Green Bay, like we were discussing. I think that's it. I think that's the remaining home schedule.
Commanders.
Oh, and the Commanders.
And
I
the
apologize.
Commanders, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
I ought to know. I'm going to that game.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting. It's gonna be very telling to see look, Jackson. The one thing you could say is Jaxson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, even though Cam's now out for the season, have inserted life into this team where people want to come out and see them play.
Not enough though, Randy. Not enough. You know what? Because they're not winning. Like, yeah, he won the 2 games at home, but remember the Philly game, I was disappointed because I saw so many Philly fans there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they beat the Eagles that game.
Yeah. It really is unfair though, right? I mean, it really is unfair to put all of that onto a rookie quarterback. And I do have concern that it's going to be too much for him, especially if this pattern of losing and the way that they're losing continues. He's giving his all. He's putting the ball where it needs to be. He's doing everything that he can to will this team to victory every week, including putting his body on the line, and he just keeps losing. And you can only beat your head into the wall so long before your spirit gets broken.
He don't know enough yet to not do what he's been doing, bro. I'm telling you right now.
Well, but that's part of the problem. My guy, that's part of the problem. If he continues to do this and it's win at all costs, well, he's going to stop when he gets his shoulder dislocated. He's going to stop when he goes on the concussion protocol. And by then it's too late.
And he's been in the blue tent, 3 times already?
My God. Guys.
Yeah, he's been in the tent 3 times. He's been in the tent 3 times.
Right? Yeah. We watched the Gruden thing before the season, even before he got drafted. People were like, would you please, for God's sake, slide? Right?
He's been in the tent 3 times, and Daboll's been in the tent twice with him. So
listen, guys, look, maybe this is my Papa Bear coming out, right? But at the end of the day, if you don't hold that kid, if you don't actually try and get him to dial it back a little bit and tell him that every loss isn't on him, he's going to hurt himself, and he's going to diminish his career.
Look, and the other problem he's also having right now is every single time he steps on the field, he's got less and less of his starting crew with him, and that's part of the problem right now too. Like one guy who I'm really happy to see that he's been able to stay healthy and stay on the field has been Andrew Thomas. Again, through a lot of what we're talking about, again, is not the offensive line. We are not talking about the offensive line giving Jackson time. Yes, there's been little spurts here where things have broken down, but the offensive line has been pretty consistent to keep Jaxson Dart safe on this field.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, guys, the offense is really not the problem. Let's be real about this. Because we would last year they only scored over 20 points 3 times.
3 times.
I think it was around 3 times.
3 times.
Yep. Now let me look at the scores now.
It's a lot.
Brian,
right? 3 times.
Ryan, can you get that for us? How many times last season they scored 20 points? Producer Ryan, you got to check that for us.
I think it was 3 times. So this year, the first game, of course, the third game, of course, that was under Russell, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since then, 21. The Saints game, that was bad. That was terrible. Besides the Saints game, every one of Jaxson Dart points they scored over 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look, he's doing what he can. My concern is that he is going to take winning onto his shoulders, and I guess this is what you want the leader of your team to do. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're at 2-7. We're not going to the playoffs, guys. We're not going to the playoffs. This is a team that if we win 4 games,
what would our record be if we win 4 games?
I don't know, 4 and. Why are you making me do math? 4 and 13?
7. My daughter hates that I be doing.
You know what? I'm going to make my son watch the show just for that. Where are we? 40 minutes and 27
By the way,
seconds.
I got to tell you, Ryan, you just said that. And what's funny is one of our clips that's on YouTube that's gotten the most things was something that you said about Daniel Jones last year. He's like when you're like, yeah, my kid who doesn't watch football at all says that guy right there, he's mid. That clip has over 25,000 views.
That's so funny.
Listen, my son, who's never been on the show, is way more popular than me. That's what that does.
But look at what the Colts are doing.
Yeah,
the Colts, they said we're winning right now. 2 first-round draft picks is
Sauce Gardner, my God.
That's wild. But listen, they know it's hot, man, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to pay Daniel Jones soon.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to pay him soon, right? Jonathan Taylor just read up, right?
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But they got 2 corners making like $26 million a year.
Yeah.
But they're like, we're going to win now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Sure.
Not next year. No. This year.
Now. Mm-hmm.
Because
got the line.
They see some weakness in the Chiefs,
mm-hmm.
right? The Bills are beatable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Patriots are making a push. Denver's actually making a push. Chargers are very beatable, right? So the Colts are like, this is our time. We're going to do it. As of right now, they're like the number 1 seed, if I'm not mistaken, right in the AFC.
Yeah. And look, the culture's right? I mean, from leadership on down. I love what Carly is doing, being on the field with the headset on, right? Being involved, right? And it's not just that it's not that she's holding everybody accountable. It's not just that, right? She is involved, and they know that she knows what the hell is going on, and they've bought in. They know she's bought in, and that means that she casts that leadership shadow, and everybody can get behind her because they know she's bought in, and it's no bullshit.
By the way, producer Ryan just checked in. More than 20 points 4 times, and one more time scoring exactly 20.
That's this year?
That was last year.
20.
Last year.
More than
24.
And by the way, JC, if you remember at the end of 2016, going into the first, I think for majority 2017 too, the scoring was an option back then. As that 2016 with Eli, I think they went 7 straight games without scoring. That was scoring under 20 points.
But our defense was we beat Dallas like 10-7 at the end of the season. But like that's what I was expecting from this defense. Remember, I was talking like I don't really care about what the offense does as long as if the defense can keep a team, under 20 points a game.
Yes.
They can, which is I feel like with this roster on defense, like I didn't feel like that was too much to ask.
It's not.
No.
Right.
It's not.
But what is it?
We can't stop anyone.
We can't. But I mean, so if it's not the players, who is it? Everybody say it with me. The fucking coaches.
I don't curse.
Sorry. I know it's like you're in church every day. I know, I get it. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, something's got to give. But I mean, this is the conundrum that we find ourselves in, right? We've got 8 more games that we're going to play because we got the bye week in week 14, right? What do you do? Do you stay with what you've got and just get demoralized for 8 more weeks? Do you cut bait on one and not the other? Who do you make? Is it Marquand? Is it Patterson? Who do you put in that DC role?
The only thing I can tell you though is I don't risk my starting quarterback, my quarterback of the future, having any opportunities to get hurt.
So what do? You bench him? You bench your rookie that you need to get reps?
No. I think what you do is towards that end of the season, those last 2 or 3 games, you start I think you put him out there for a little bit, but you also don't take any chances you don't have to take. Because
Yeah.
now
They're
you're
not doing that, bro.
No,
they
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 can't
had
do it.
him throwing late in the game, and
Yeah.
it was like a consolation prize to only lose by 10 points.
There has to be consequences for him putting himself out there in ways that are dangerous. I think that's the only way that you're going to be able to do it, because he does need the reps, right? He's a young quarterback. He needs the experience of reading defenses. He's getting better at that. No moment has been too big so far, but he needs to continue that development, right? And so the offensive line has been protecting him for the most part, right? Where he gets in danger is when he puts himself in danger, when he goes for those 12-yard runs and lowers his shoulder instead of sliding.
Just running out of bounds.
Instead of running out of
you're
bounds,
so close
for
to the
fuck's sake.
sideline.
Take a step to the right,
So
for God's sake. I mean, what the fuck? And so there's got to be somebody, I don't care who it is, somebody has to drill it into this kid's head that you're gonna get yourself hurt. You're gonna limit your career, and you're not gonna be able to do the thing that you love to do if you don't learn to protect yourself. So I'm gonna do what I can to protect you, and there are going to be consequences if you continue to do this stupid shit.
He took, I think, 4 big shots last week.
To his throwing shoulder, to his head, to his neck.
By a D lineman from behind that he did see. That one, okay, but like the one with the 48, the linebacker, I forgot his name, Gunther or whatever his name is, he blew him up.
Yeah.
And then on the sideline, they got him a couple times where he could have ran out, and he's trying to deliver the blow, but like, you're going to catch the wrong guy, bro. And you ain't going to win that one.
Your coach can't be like, oh, he's a competitive kid. You're going to get him killed. You're going to get him laid up if you continue to do that. Yes, he's competitive. Yes, we like the moxie. Yes, we like the competitive spirit and the want to win. Yes, we do. But it's incumbent upon you as his head coach to help protect him when he doesn't know to protect himself.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Big Blue Report here on the Back Sports Page podcast networks. Of course, we're all on YouTube, Twitter, or I'm sorry, it's called X, Instagram, everywhere you can find your podcast now.
OnlyFans. Oh no, that's a different one. That's my personal one. Sorry.
I was going to say Ryan does have an OnlyFans page. You definitely want to check
web
that
browser,
out.
Ryan.
That's the blue ball report. That's a different one.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you what. Chicago, they ran the ball 40 times last week. Yeah. 2 weeks ago, they ran the ball 37 times. No, 37 times last week, and 2 weeks ago, it was 40 times.
Yeah.
They will run the ball 55 times.
All fucking day. Yeah. Why wouldn't they? Yeah.
I would be shocked if I see a pass in the first 15 plays that they run.
I mean,
what you're gonna do. You're just going to run. Go.
Let's go back. Let's talk about the pass, right? Mac Jones was 14 of 14 to start the game.
Man. Couldn't stop anything. It was Swiss cheese. Nobody was in the right spot. Nobody was covering anybody. For some reason, we had our best cornerback in Drew Phillips on the bench for most of it. I think he played 19 snaps, something like that.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
they would not put him on
it.
the corner. They only had him in the slot, and so it was limited because they were running 11 personnel all the time.
It almost looks like if Burns doesn't make a play, it's not like nobody's going to make a play, and that's crazy.
But that's exactly what you've been saying, JC. If everybody on that defense was putting as much in as Brian Burns is, then it would be that defense that we were expecting this year. But the problem is, for whatever reason, the message is not getting through to those players. And it's like, I forgot who asked it during the press conference. But I think it was Jordan. I actually think it was Jordan who asked that question. I'll go back to double check it. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it next week on air. But Jordan said, he's like, you're talking about we need to make sure we see these things that we see in practice and see these things that we know that we're capable of. What are those things, and when are we going to? Because at this point in time, you're already 9 games into your season.
Yeah,
and you're 2-7. There's no real point to try to even show it at this point because you're so far behind. And like we said in that Denver game, you win that Denver game, being 3-4 is much different than being 2-5. And that's a huge, huge, huge thing, that loss against Denver. I think that loss demoralized this team.
It's been nothing but for 3 years. It's been nothing but, well, with very few exceptions, it's been nothing but It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. We've got to do better. We've got to do better. It just wasn't good enough all around. So at what point does it get better? At what point do you actually do something different to make this better? And when do we get to see that?
But not only do we have to, we have to do these things better, but you have to be more specific, because if we're asking, what do they have to do better?
Yeah, right.
What are you seeing over there that we're not seeing?
Right.
Because what we're seeing is everything needs to be better. But what or two things do you feel that you saw that can get better, that can get a win? Because once you get, winning solves all problems, and winning
100%.
camouflages a lot of issues. We just talked about, JC, you just said it great. In 2016, this team had a hard time scoring, but the defense was so good, you didn't even have to look at the score, because the defense was playing lights out, and the defense was winning you games, and the offense was doing enough. Neither side of the ball over the last 3 years. Look, 2022, we said it before, the ball bounced our way, luckily, so many different times, and it played out to our favor. We haven't gotten lucky like that in 3 years. So my question to you, if you're going to get a head coach here that is going to help change the culture, you have to find a head coach that has the respect, that can bring that culture right away. Who's out there? Who's out there that can do it? And I'm not talking about the guy who hangs out at sorority parties down in North Carolina. I'm not talking about him.
Oh God, no. Although that is my retirement plan, but no, that is absolutely not somewhere we ought to go. I'll tell you, there is a name that I have heard floated that I don't hate. I don't like it, but I don't hate it, and that's Lane Kiffin.
Oh, don't say it. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say somebody else. I was like, no, I don't want.
Who do you think I was going to say?
Mike McCarthy. I don't want Michael McCarthy here. No.
Well, but look, I mean, at the end of the day, what we don't need, again, is an unproven commodity. We can't rely on hope. We need someone who has coached in this league, has had success along his coaching career, and has learned a thing or two. Now, I know Lane Kiffin didn't have the greatest pro career, but that was, 15, 20 years ago? And I think he's learned a few things being where he's at. And if we bring him back up to the next level, he's got a guy that he's already pretty damn familiar with in Jaxson Dart. I don't hate it, but, I mean, there's all kinds of conversations that we can have. Quite frankly, I think Brian Flores ought to be our defensive coordinator, although he's still got that lawsuit going on. But, I think there needs to be a new OC. There needs to be a new head coach. There needs to be a new DC, and there needs to be a new DC sooner than later, quite frankly.
You know who do you want as the OC? Because I have a name in my head.
Oh, I had a guy, and it's I'm blanking on it right now. My blood pressure's up, and I can't think about it. Who's your guy?
Davis Webb.
Real unproven commodity. That's
unproven commodity, but he's doing a lot of good things out where he is right now, and he's already said he's looking for OC jobs. Starting during the offseason.
I don't want nobody ain't never had success at the position that we're trying to hire them for.
So what about Ace? What about AP as the defensive coordinator?
I would love AP as a defensive.
Oh my God, I would love that too.
Because he will hold people accountable. He was trying to hold people accountable on Sunday. I don't know if he put him in the stadium, but he was like, "Man, if I go in Sunday, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure they stop the run." I'm like, bro, you don't work. You're not on staff.
Not yet. But listen, that's incumbent upon. I think what it does is it shows the discipline that needs to be a part of the system that's not a part of the system anymore. Nobody's being held accountable for anything.
He wasn't on staff for the Vegas. I mean, they made him the head coach. He wasn't. He wasn't. Look, there's one guy who I'm seeing on X who's just ripping everybody apart. And I'm like, man, I would love to have him on coaching staff. It's Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs is ripping. Jacobs is ripping everybody, ripping the effort of everybody. Mm-hmm. And you want to talk about guys who hold people accountable. JC, you know this. You talked to Brandon before. Brandon holds everybody accountable.
Director of player motivation. Get that big motherfucker in there and see see who wants to give him shit.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, but it's the ins and outs of coaching, man.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, you got to be a leader of men, and then you have to have
a respected leader of men.
But you got to have the wherewithal as well to understand the situational stuff, and you can't panic. You have to be able to have great situational awareness and great situational confidence when you get into those situations to stand on what you stand on. And we haven't seen that, right? The 2022 Daboll is different than this Daboll, than the Daboll we've seen the
Yeah.
last 3 years. Let's be real about this, right?
Yeah.
That the decisions that he was making back in 2022, he's not doing that anymore. He doesn't
No.
he doesn't have that,
He doesn't have the swag, man.
you know what I mean?
He
He
doesn't.
didn't have that. Like he had, we
Coconut.
haven't seen that since then.
No.
We haven't seen it since then. And that's the thing where I feel like Dexter's feeling that.
It's all been milk toast. It's just been vanilla milk toast,
Look,
blah.
And
It's losing.
look, when they had, first of all, the refs suck. That's just, they are horrible. like so many, and I haven't even watched so many other teams play. You know what I mean? I'm just watching. I'm talking about from the Giants games and the limited games that I've watched outside of the Giants games. So many different times I see them just blowing blatant balls. Like, bro, his arm was going forward.
Yeah.
That is not a sack.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. We have to take that from Burns. That is an interception because his arm was going forward, right? But they counted as a fumble or whatever, right? Right? When you have a turnover like that at that area of the field, do you know what the next play is on offense? Like almost 100% of the times, you throw at the end zone.
Yeah.
Not run the ball up the middle.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. I mean, did you see the Seattle game? Did you see that? What happened at Seattle game? They scored 21 points in like 20 seconds.
Lickety split. Yeah.
But that's what you do. You jump on top of their ass when you have the opportunity to do so.
Strike
That's
while
what
the
you
iron's
do.
hot. Yep.
And then we missed a field goal, another missed field goal, another one.
Look,
and this guy's over there. What's his kid's name? He's kicking 68-yarder.
Little. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You can't make it up, man.
I love the fact that the kicker for the Green Bay Packers is a guy that we had in, right? I think he's like 8 for 8 now on his field goals. We worked that kid out, and he lost the competition to Jude McDemney and Younghoe Koo. We sent him over there, and we kept the garbage.
Yeah. Please, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, please note that the views of Ryan Darlington are not exactly the same views of all of us here at the Big Blue Report.
It's fine. I'm easily expendable. That's why I can say this shit.
Real quick, let's jump in. Let's jump into the Chicago game this upcoming weekend.
Oh, can we do trivia? Or do we want to do that after Chicago?
Let's do that after Chicago. Let's
talk
into the
Chicago.
So look, Bears. Look, the Bears are one of those teams that are on the rise. They seem to be playing better than they've been over the last couple seasons. And look, Caleb Williams has not really had the sophomore slump a lot of guys have thought he was going to have. They're playing well. They're playing as well as people expected them to be. I'll do the first prediction. I think this is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think it's going to be. I'm going to go Giants 24-21. I feel like I've always had that score.
Yeah, you are.
I just
one of these days. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, my friend.
Exactly. I got to stick with it. I got to stick with it. Look, at the end of the day, I feel like the level of competition the Giants have been playing against has been like up here, and I feel like Chicago's not up here. They're like a little bit of a step down compared to there. So I think the Giants will maybe be able to handle themselves a little bit better than have been against the Philadelphias and the Chicagos and the Denvers and the Kansas Cities and every other championship contender we happen to play in the first 10 weeks of the season. you know what I mean? Like, so I just feel like if there's going to be an opportunity to get a win, this might be the week to do it. So,
okay,
I'll go with that. Ryan, go ahead.
Well, look, we have an amazing ability to make diminished teams, marginal teams, look like fucking Super Bowl winners, Super Bowl contenders, right? This 49ers team, while it's got some pieces, right? They're banged up, bro. They're not all that they showed us on Sunday, right? The Saints, right? They are not a phenomenal team, but we made them look pretty good. And so, the level of competition, and then we go out and beat the Chargers, and we go out and beat the Eagles, right? Two really good teams. So we're all over the map. And the last couple of weeks look like the majority of losses last season, right? Where we're just getting shredded every which way, right? 6 ways from Sunday. And that is not going to stop in Chicago. They are at home. They don't need Caleb Williams to throw the looking like a Pro Bowler or like somebody that needs to be cut next week, right? So he's got the ups and downs, and he's made some amazing throws, and I think he's going to become a very, very good quarterback. I don't think they need him much this week. They're going to run. They're going to run and run and run and run and run and run and run, because why would they need to do anything else? And until I see, JC, I'm going to steal a line from you. Until I see this team actually do something to stop the run, do something to change that, I can't believe that it's going to happen. I think we're going to get shredded again. I think it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 34 to 20, 34 to 17. I think that's what it's going to look like, Bears.
I'm with you with that. The last 2 weeks for the Giants, I mean, this past game, they won the turnover battle, 1-0. And the week before, they were tied. If I'm not mistaken, no team turned the ball over.
Yeah, I think it was 0-0.
The Eagles game, and it was 0-0, and they got blown out.
Clean ball. Mm-hmm.
So the Giants, the Saints game was like kind of, the outlier where they just turn the ball over consistently, and I don't see that happening. The Giants are losing the game without losing the turnover battle, and that's not good.
That's not good.
And I don't know how many times they're going to not be able to turn the ball over in the game and play a clean game like they played. And I say clean, that's, just turning the ball over, strictly speaking, with that, because nothing about the game was clean whatsoever. But if they turn the ball over, it'd be something in the realm of what Brian said, 34-17 or something like that. I just don't think that they can slow this run game down, that the Chicago, when they watch the film, this last film wasn't as bad as the Eagles film, but it was still bad, especially when you look at the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to run the football. They're going to run the football north of 40 times. They're probably going to average 6 yards a carry, something like that, because that's what the Giants are giving up, about 5 and some change on the season. And I think it's going to be around 31 or 34 to 24. I think the Giants will score. I do believe in this offense, even though people can't consistently catch the football. But I believe in Jaxson Dart, just like I think we all do. I think he can score some points. I think he will score some points. But I think a turnover will happen for the Giants because it's bound to happen. I don't think he can keep playing as clean as he has been playing. And it'll be somewhere like around, like I said, 31. Let's call it 31-24.
Okay, that's fair. And now we can do trivia, boys. You feel a little better?
Thank
now we can
Jesus. Okay, let's do it, because I got to get some points up.
All right.
JC, are you still 2 ahead?
Yeah, I think
we both got it right last week. I think we both got it right last week. That was a softball last week.
Yeah, maybe softball. This one might be a little bit harder.
All right, here we go. In their Week 4 matchup on October 2nd, 2022, the New York Football Giants beat the Chicago Bears 20-12. Which player scored both of the Giants' rushing touchdowns in that game? And like every other trivia question, the answer is Orleans Darkwa. No, so it's Saquon, Daniel Jones, Graham Gano.
That's crazy.
So what you're saying is it's not C.
It's Saquon, Daniel Jones, B. Arthur, or Tyrod Taylor.
It's either A or B, for sure.
B. Arthur. It's oh my God! It's Steve Martin.
Mama Cass, right, or Saquon Barkley.
LL Cool J.
Okay.
I'm gonna go B. Daniel Jones.
It was October 2nd, 2022. Was Daniel hurt? I'm going to take a flyer. I'm going to take a flyer and say D, Tyrod Taylor.
All right. Well, the answer is B, Daniel Jones, as he rushed for both of his touchdowns in the first half. Way to go, JC.
The trickery isn't there.
Yeah.
Thank you for
No, but you got it because you forgot that was the Daniel Jones year.
That was the Daniel
That
Jones
was the 140 game right after that year.
Travel around the world and back again.
I think it was more funny that Ryan referenced B. Arthur. I think that to me is the one thing. I don't think I can't believe we're not talking about that. I was more thought we were going to see like Kylo Ren or maybe Tony Stark ran for 2 touchdowns.
Tony Stark ran in for 2. Yeah, he could do it.
Yeah, he can do it. He can fly right in there. Gentlemen, so next week we're back Tuesday night, 9:15 on all of your social and pod networks. JC, any final thoughts for the Giants this upcoming weekend?
Man, I don't know, man. I'm puzzled, with this team. This team has me completely puzzled. I just really hope that they can stop the run. That'll give them a chance in this game for sure. Because like you said, Caleb's really not like that good. I mean, he played very well last week, and he made a great throw at the end of the game to the tight end Loveland to win the game at the end. But the Bears they're decent, but if they run the football, man, they'll be able to score some points. They've done it, and then man, literally all game last week I was saying, can we stop these guys? Like, can we slow them down at all? And I just hope, I'll pray on it. I pray for these guys, bro. I'll pray on it, but I'm praying on that and the health of Jaxson Dart. Hopefully the Giants get a win and they can stop the run and the health of Jaxson Dart, man, because don't want to add insult to injury.
Yeah, no, I get that. Ryan, any final thoughts?
Listen, play for each other. You know what I mean? If you're not going to play for anything else, play for pride, play for each other, and just know that you are more than your record has indicated that you are. Play for each other, play for pride, do what you can do. Just go out there, forget all the bullshit, and play some football.
There you go.
I want to be able to watch. My final thought is I want to be able to watch some Giants football on Sunday and feel excited and not have to. I don't want to say it to sound like depressing, but I don't want to have to look at the screen and just go and put my head in my hands and go, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like this, I want that moment to be exciting where I can be like jump up and down and go, yeah, like that's the team.
Yeah.
Like,
look,
we've had shades of it this year. We've had those moments where you're like, okay, like this is something that we can build on. This is something we can get fired up and excited about.
Yeah. Mondays suck enough. Don't add to it. Like, help me out. You know what I mean? Just fucking help me out, would you?
God, yeah, please. Ryan likes to drink when he's happy, not because he's sad. Let's
well, I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, it's either or, whatever.
Yeah. For Ryan Darlington, Jonathan Casillas, I'm Randy Zellea. We'll see you next week here. Thank you, producer Ryan, as always. We'll see you next time here on the Big Blue Report. See you guys.